It's the cold hard truth. Everyone really want to know what's going on with her show. Just get on the air and you will know it's Sandra. The queen of the mile road is here, helping people from everywhere. Get on the phone and you will hear Sandra. Now she will tell you how it goes, but don't you ever step on her toes, 'cause you will hear the cold hard truth from Sandra. They say she's the hero in town, helping people from all around. You get a call, your money is found, it's Sandra. Some will call her late at night just to say that there is a fight, and she will not just leave it alone. She'll get up and call on the phone, and when politics starts on her show, everyone really wants to know the way the things will really go with Sandra. Some will start to criticize, get on the show and tell pure lies, but someday we'll realize it's Sandra. And when they start to argue again, she'll pull the heads to the wind, and soon you will be a friend of Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone wanna hear from Sandra. Every day, everyone wanna hear from Sandra. 'Cause every day, everyone got to hear from Sandra. 'Cause every day, everyone got to hear from Sandra.
If you're a parent right now, you already know the cost of living has gone up. Rent, childcare, grocery. When the cost of living rises, government must rise to meet it. And we have. Under the revised ECAP policy, our Early Childhood Assistance Program, we've increased funding to keep pace with what families are actually paying today for their children's early education. Who benefits? A father working every hour he can. A single mother doing it alone. A grandparent raising grandchildren they love. Maybe that's you. Up to 235 Caymanian children will benefit directly, and I want every single one of them to have the start they deserve. That is why we're here. If you've applied before and been disappointed, I encourage you to try again. If you've never applied because you assumed you wouldn't qualify, now is the time to find out. And if the funding didn't feel like enough before, it should now. Is your child 3 years old and Caymanian? You may qualify. Visit us at moeapplications.gov.ky and apply for the 2026-2027 academic year.
Good morning, Cayman. Happy Tuesday. It is Medical Rundown Tuesday with none other than Health City Cayman Islands. And we have got a full show scheduled for you today. So we're going to go ahead and dive straight in. One of those topics, again, that I feel like we all need, especially as you get a little bit older. You're going to have some pains here, there, and everywhere. And sometimes you don't even know where the pain is coming from, like what caused it. So I am so happy to have them back in the studio with us. Let's put your virtual hands together for Mr. Shamari Scott. First of all, good morning, Shamari. How are you?
Good morning, Sandy. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much.
Actually, I need to adjust my camera so you can see what I'm wearing.
Oh, nice. Where'd you get that from?
Brazil. Well, I had been eyeing this one for a while, and when I was away recently, I passed
Uh-huh.
Brazil official dark black with blue Brazil jersey in the store, and I had to get it. So this is my good luck charm. I wore it. Brazil won the last game,
Nice.
and tomorrow Brazil will be playing Scotland. And even though
Okay.
I have a place in my heart for the Scotland fans, they're absolutely amazing. But tomorrow, they can drown their sorrows with beer after Brazil defeats them and goes on to the next round. Brazil hasn't
Yes.
been playing as even in the first two games. They don't look like the typical Brazil, but I'm
Uh-huh.
sure they're going to get it together, and we're going to have something to cheer about in these rounds to come. So I'm
All
excited
right.
and I'm good to go. And guess what, Sandy? As
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned, today is a show that has to do with the link between body weight, joint health,
Mm-hmm.
injury risk. And this is very, very, very important because, as you would know, we are in the over 40 league, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's our team. We have a team that we call ourselves a WD-40 Hickeys, right?
Yes.
We might be slow, but we still bites is our logo and our tagline, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we had to forfeit. We had to forfeit two games in a row. Why? It's a mix of because the league was delayed so long. We have about 7 or 8 players that will turn up out of a group of 20. But some went on vacation because the league extended a month and a half past when it should have, and others were due to joint issues, injuries, and the such. So we just didn't have enough to field the team. Can you believe that?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So we
Wow.
lost the over 40 league because we
Well,
couldn't get 5 players to start it. Some
oh
due
my
to
goodness.
vacation, some due to injury, some
Oh.
due to persons retiring
Mm-hmm.
mid-season. But we'll recruit some young boys closer to 40, I think, for this next go round next year, so that we can make sure that when we're
Okay.
actually playing, we don't lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. Well, it happens. It happens. Somebody's gonna win and somebody's gonna lose. But I think you put in a good effort, so that's good to know.
Yeah, next time you just need to field the team. But
Yeah.
and hopefully, who we're going to speak to today, Dr. Devendra, will be able to actually give us some pointers so that we can make sure that we're ready for the
Mm-hmm.
next over 40 league. I know you're
Mm-hmm.
going to bring in Dr. Devendra, but I just want to make sure that we
Yes.
can
Tell us all about him.
introduce him. He's a senior consultant that we have. As you know, we have a full orthopedics team. He's a senior
Yes.
consultant with orthopedics who specializes in joint replacement and sports medicine. So
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be important that we hear from him today for us former basketball team players who are still playing basketball. Dr. Devendra is highly experienced. He specializes, as I mentioned, in joint replacement, arthroscopic um, surgery, as well as sports medicine. He has extensive experience in primary and hip revision, as well as knee, shoulder replacements. And he is advanced when it comes to orthopedic procedures.
Mm-hmm.
He's known for his meticulous surgical technique and patient focused approach. Dr. Devendra manages complex orthopedic and trauma cases with precision. He has experience, obviously, at a tertiary care level and has
Mm-hmm.
2 decades of experience, as well as, not sure if we're going to discuss it in this program, but
Mm-hmm.
probably we will bring him back to discuss his robotic assisted primary and complex primary revision replacement surgery.
Mm.
So, without
Okay.
further ado, Dr. Devendra.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning, Doc. How are you?
Hey, hi, Sandra. Hi, Shumari. Good morning. It's a beautiful morning. And Shumari started off with a really nice note on it, starting with
Mm-hmm.
football. and all the 40 plus players having injury. We can fix them all. Don't worry about it. We want them to be healthy. I want your team to be complete, Shamari.
Yeah, so you're gonna help us to win the next over 40 league. We won twice in a row, and due to
Oh, that's
injuries,
great.
we just
That
could not feel the team.
but next time we are going to make it sure that it's going to be a complete team without injuries and without anything, right?
All right, sounds good.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Hi,
Well,
Sandra. Nice
yes,
to
good
see you again.
morning. I
Good
know.
morning.
I was just about to say we are not strangers.
Yeah.
After my knee surgery was the first time that I saw you last year. So
Yeah.
you were filling in for the ever capable Dr. I'm having
Naranjan,
a brain moment. Dr.
Naranjan.
Naranjan, yes.
Yeah.
Which I saw him a couple days ago, and I got to tell you how joint pains work, right? So when I saw him, he was out with his daughter for a little birthday function, and I was out with my daughter for a birthday function. I said, "Hey, doc, my thumb has been hurting me for a while. What's going on?" I know you guys get these sort of comments probably no matter
Yeah.
where you go. Joint pain is pretty common, I would think, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. It's absolutely very common. And as you near your 40s or just crossing 40s is going to be really tough and it becomes really difficult. That's true.
Yeah. So what happens? I mean, we're talking about. Let's start off with how the joints work, and we think about the big ones, the
Yeah.
knee, the hip, the shoulder, ankle. But then there's the little joints too, like in the fingers.
Yep.
You know, so that's the one that I'm feeling this morning. The thumb still hurts. But joint pain. Tell us first before we get to talk about the actual pain. How do the joints themselves actually work and operate?
So it's like a very simple function. You can consider anything like maybe a door hinge. It's the same way. There are two parts of the joint. One is the bone. Two bones are there involved into it. They have a cartilage and a fluid inside the joint that basically forms a lubrication fluid for movement of the joint. Few joints can move in a single plane, and there are multi-axial movement joints as well. So the single plane joints are going to be like knee or elbow, and the multiple plane joints are going to be hip and the shoulder. Also, the
Okay.
most
And
important,
what does that mean when you say single plane and what was the other word? Multiple?
multiplanar. So it
Oh,
it moves all
okay.
around. Like
Uh-huh.
our shoulder, it can move in all the directions, right? It
Oh,
doesn't have to be specifically restricted movement, but your fingers, they're going to move in one direction, or
I
the
see.
elbow or
Okay.
the knee, right?
Yes.
And again, because that's where why I'm discussing this is because again they're divided into two joints. One is a weight bearing, where we are going to put the weight while we do every single day or every single step. That's your hip joint, knee joint, ankle, and the small joints of foot. And there are non-weight bearing joints. That's upper limb, maybe a shoulder, elbow. We don't put weight usually on these joints, right? So that's where we go. These weight bearing joints are more inclined to have the arthritic changes rather than a non-weight bearing joint because of wear and tear. We do it daily.
Right. Okay. And so what that then means is increased body weight means that you're
Yeah,
putting more pain and more stress on these joints. And
definitely.
it's so much more than we think, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if it's PSI or exactly what you'd call it in terms of the amount of pressure that one actually puts on your joints, but I read something once that I was kind of shocked by. It was something like for every 5 or 10 pounds that you gain or extra that you're carrying, that is the equivalent of like tenfold what your joint is actually having to deal with and what the joint has to feel, which is crazy. So, all of us are like me, like, oh yeah, I gotta lose 50 pounds. But the truth of the matter is the small numbers matter. So 5 pound weight loss, a 10 pound weight loss can really, really make a difference in terms of how those joints are feeling. So let's go ahead and walk through it. You say here that joint issues affect pretty much everyone. So, what percentage of the population would you realistically say, especially when they start to hit that mid age, are going to start to have joint issues. They're going to wake up in the morning maybe being stiff. The knee feels stiff throughout the day because of their posture and how they're sitting and that sort of thing.
Yeah. So considering all the joint pains, what globally, it amounts to almost, but the burden is around like 60 to 65% of the burden of the total population that in the age which is more than 40 years of age. That's quite significant amount. And the people who are nearing the obesity, they are going to be somewhere obesity related osteoarthritis, and the basic disease of osteoarthritis. It's going to be by 2030, it's going to be somewhere around like 1 million people who are really going to need
Wow.
the knee replacement surgeries. That's a quite huge amount of people who are going to need and land up in the joint pain. And that's why this podcast today's and interview is important, because we are going to learn that how we have to keep this thing at a bay, right?
All
And
right.
what you rightly said is about the weight that's been put. Every single pound that you gain is going to put like 7 pounds of more weight on your hips, and it's going to be like 10 pounds of more weight on your knee. So that you just feel that, oh, I just gained 1 pound, but it's going to be like 10 times more on the weight bearing joints, which is really going to damage your cartilage and accelerate it to the arthritis very sooner. So, and even a 10% of the reduction of the weight significantly causes 30% of less pain in your joints. So just imagine, like, if anybody is like 100 pounds and ends up losing a 10 pounds, he's going to be like 30 to 40% better person altogether
Wow.
and decrease in the pain quantum. That's huge.
Absolutely. That is amazing. All right. Shamari, are you waking up these days? I know you've been doing quite well on your walking and weight loss journey, but do you still wake up some mornings with a little bit of a knee pain or anything going on, or do you normally feel pretty good?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been blessed even when I was playing national team to not have any major injuries, and then even later in life when I gained weight, um, general pains and such, I wouldn't necessarily feel. What I did feel when I started back playing at first was my ankles. I always had a little bit of an issue with twisted ankles, nothing big. That my ankles didn't feel like I could move, and I had to start wearing more ankle braces and the such. But as I've lost some of the weight, I still wear the ankle brace just to make sure. I don't want to tempt fate, but I typically haven't had those types of pains. So I'm trying to keep active and limber so I don't in the future. And with Dr. Devendra's advice and help, hopefully I can go as long as possible without having any pains and injuries, and I will hopefully not have to have any surgery in the future. But if it needs to happen, it needs to happen later in life.
Yeah. Okay. Dr. Devendra, I feel like because everything is so interconnected. Yes.
Yes.
If your knees are feeling it because they're taking a good part of the load, your ankles also have the potential of being negatively impacted. And of course, one of the things that I noticed, the physiotherapist would point it out to me is, oh, yes, well, when one side is having an issue, the other side is going to try to compensate, normally by overuse or making you walk a little bit differently. Even your strength is different in the corresponding side that is now having to pick up the difference, or pick up the slack, if you will, for the one side that is really a problem. And I found that, when I tore my meniscus, I was like, wait a minute, that's the knee, because it had always been the left knee that had given me problems. So I was a bit surprised that the right knee is the one that needed the surgery first. I thought, this is so weird. But of course, that's because the right knee was taking the burden off of the left knee as much as possible. And you oftentimes don't even recognize that that's what the body's doing. The body just automatically does what it can, right?
Yes. Sandra, you have put this so rightly. Many times what happens is that we do have, as Shomari was saying, when waking up from the bed, sometimes we do have a pain or the aches at some places which we really don't expect. Like having a knee pain for a longer period of time, but it's not really debilitating. And you just carry on with it, popping some pills, you just keep on going. But what you rightly said is that the body has to respond to that pain. So if my right knee is aching, what body is going to try to do subconsciously that it's going to put more pressure on my left knee, and so that I'm able to walk normally. So inevitably, with the time passes, right knee is working less, and the left one is working more or overburdened, as you rightly said. And over a period of time, right knee, right thigh muscles, and the calf muscles are going to go on becoming weak and weak. But there is something which is underlying inside the knee that's going wrong, and that's causing your pain that initially started with. The most important thing is that you need to diagnose it. It can be your meniscus tear, it can be your ligament sprain, it can be your cartilage osteochondral defect, a lot of things that can be happening inside your knee. Or it may be a simple trauma that's caused a synovitis, that inflammation of the covering of your joint. So any of these things can be there, and 90 to 95% of these things can be treated conservatively. It's like a switch in time saves nine. So once you diagnose what exactly is going wrong inside it, you really don't need to go for a surgery. So you can
Right.
just prevent it. A small amount of medications, a physio in time, and timely intervention is going to make your right knee good. And the compensation on the left knee also goes away if you fix your right
Yeah.
knee as well. So I think that that's the point. Early diagnosis is the key to get it good. Early diagnosis, early intervention is definitely going to prevent you the surgery.
Right. And of course, I ignored it too long, right? I remember waiting, and one night I was there in August of 2025, and
Yeah.
I was at the I think it was the Indigo for my daughter's birthday weekend, and I just couldn't take any more pain. It was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I said, oh my gosh, I cannot take this any longer. And I distinctly remember messaging Dr. Naranjan, not expecting him to also be up at that hour,
Yeah.
saying, Doc, I'm in so much pain that I think we're going to just have to do the surgery. Like, I can't take it anymore. So you
Yeah.
shouldn't allow yourself to get to that point, right? I
That's
should have
true.
come in way before then and seen if there wasn't something that could have been done, physiotherapy, pain meds, something to kind of get it under control. But
Yeah.
there's certain types of injuries that there's no way to fix it as well, I find.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. So, I've had another tear in the other knee, but it was behind the knee, and they said, "Oh, leave that one alone. That one tends to heal on its own. This particular tear, because of the location, wasn't one of those, and you ran the risk of it getting worse. So you got it. This is why, again, going to your physicians early, getting the ultrasound or the X-ray or whatever is required for them to see exactly what's going on. They can give you an indication of, this is something that we can manage for a little while, but
Yes.
ultimately we need to fix it.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
absolutely true. The few injuries, as you rightly said, is like some ligament tears, um, and some tendon tears or ruptures. Obviously, they do have a grading on their own as well. Like what? Let's put it in a very simple words that
Yes.
everyone is going to be understanding really easily. So let's divide any kind of an injury into four grades, like grade one, grade two, grade three, and grade four, right? So if there are 100 bundles or 100 fiber bundles, if I see that it's a grade one injury, it's 25 fibers that are torn from that. So if it's grade two, it's 50, and grade three is 75, and grade four is like 100 fibers torn. So most of the ligament injuries or the meniscus, where it's going to be grade one or grade two, they are going to heal on their own. But the
Right.
only thing is that we just need to take care that we shouldn't be overburdening that joint or stretching the ligaments too, so that they shouldn't be progressing from grade one or two to grade four. Simple ligaments, some lifestyle modification over a period of 2 to 3 weeks, and they're going to heal well. So that's what happens when you try to ignore it and not diagnose it. And then all these things progress to grade four, where you have a complete tear, where you said that surgery remains the only choice. So
Yes.
that's the way it has to be. We have to see early, diagnose in grade one, grade two, and it's all well then.
All right. We have Shamshur Dehol says, congratulations, Dr. Devendra. You're explaining the details in a simple, understandable manner. Proud of you. Thank you,
Thank you. I
sir.
appreciate it.
We have Alfred Alfred Real says, good morning, Sandra, Shamari, and Dr. Devendra. Dr. Devendra, I've noticed for the past few weeks that my left knee creaks or makes a crackling sound when I go up and down the stairs. And even when I sit down or stand up, sometimes I can even hear it when I walk. Alfred, you're not the only one. I heard mine this morning. There's no real pain, but the sound is noticeable. Is this normal knee crepitus or is it something I should get checked? So cracking knees.
Yeah, that's something we get very often.
Yes.
It makes a large part of population that comes to us. So, and I think, Sandra, this needs to be discussed a little. The crackling knees in the population, it's 30 to 35% of patients. This crackling sounds or snapping sounds, snapping is a very normal thing in the knees or in the small joints as well. It's the movement of the synovium, that's the fluid inside the joint, that makes these kind of sounds. But if it's accompanied with the pain or the restriction of movement or the stiffness, that's something that can be ignored. Right. So the 70% population which has associated symptoms like these, they need to be coming to the doctor. There can be a lot of underlying things happening, because if the patient is like age old, like old of 60 plus or something, having an arthritic knee where the bones are rubbing on each other, that crepitus can come because of the bones, their degenerated bone joints.
Yes.
But rest of the population, which is young and active, and you do have some kind of a snapping or kind of crepitus, if it's not really troubling you, it's pretty normal. It shouldn't be bothering you. But if it's pain, stiffness, restriction of movement, pain at rest, along with these crepitus, then definitely you should calm down.
Okay. All right. And of course, there are things that you can do on your own, Alfred. Stretching, even before you get out of bed and you put that foot down on the hard tile. There are little things that you can do right on the edge of the bed that I find actually helps. I've been watching since my surgery, I've been watching a lot of physiotherapists and experts in this area tell you what you need to do to strengthen the knee, including weightlifting. And one of the odd things that strengthens the knee, you'd be surprised, I know you know this, but walking backwards, I've found out, is something that we should all be doing. Who knew that walking backwards was so good for the knees? Did you know that, Shamari?
I did not know that.
Yes.
So walking backwards upstairs or just walking backwards?
No, just walking backwards. So apparently you can even do it on a treadmill. I'm kind of scared to do that, but you got to make sure you hold on to the rails. But just the motion of walking backwards works something in the knee that most of us never get to properly work. And it's one of those things that apparently is very beneficial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. The thigh muscles of your body, let's divide it in two parts. One is in the front and one is in the back. The one in the front is called quadriceps and one in the back is called hamstrings, right? So when you walk normally, what's happening is that you are making more use of your hamstrings because they bend the knee. So while walking, and the muscles in the front, that quadriceps, when you walk backwards, these are the muscles which are going to get more stronger and stronger over a period of time. There has been a study which says that the longevity of the life is directly proportional to the size of your quadriceps muscle.
Yes.
So
we have this is no news to me and my audience because I've discussed this before, and that's why we had started our squat challenge, which we have now fallen off the wagon. But that's precisely why, because you're right, that is a big muscle. And the layperson's logic or explanation, if you will, is that as you get older, one of the things that you have got to be able to do is get up and down. I literally sit and get up. So that movement, right, relies on those quad muscles significantly, and your ability to do that without holding on to anything is apparently tied to longevity, slip and falls, and you can't get up. And so work those quads and lift with heavy weights. I know a lot of women are like, as they get older, they just want to do cardio. But again, the most important thing you can do is actually lifting and lift heavy. Like you're not going to bulk up and be looking like the Incredible Hulk, but it's going to help things like those quad muscles when you're giving them a good workout. So yes, absolutely. Thank you so
Can you
much for reminding us.
can you say that again, Dr. Devendra? The correlation?
Yeah, the statement,
Yeah.
the size and the strength of your quadriceps muscle is directly
Mm-hmm.
proportional to the longevity of your life.
Wow. Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
the more better, the stronger the quads, longer you're going to live. The bulkier the one and the strength and the size of your quads is going to make you live longer. Because
Okay.
it's very simple, Shamari. If you have a good quads, you can really, as Sandra said, you can get up and down from your seat. You can get up, walk around, move around. The more you move, the
Right.
better is going to be your cardiac health, bone health, your
Right.
gut health. Every single thing is going to be better if you keep on moving. If you're static
Yeah.
and sitting at one place and you're not able to move at all, your quads are weak,
Right.
you can't move. And all the things like the diabetes, the obesity, and all other the things in the world are going to pile up on you.
Right.
And they're
So
just
don't
going to be
don't
bad and
don't
bad.
don't skip leg days.
Yeah. Don't trip
Yeah.
like this. Yeah.
Yeah, they say if there's one, if you can't do anything else, which I mean, obviously you would want to do anything else, but definitely those squats and working the quads, that's where it's at. So
I
yeah,
know.
most men want to do like leg days for them is working the calf muscles because men love big calf muscles, but that's not really the one that they should be all that focused on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually, what focus happens like uh, people are more interested in their broad chest, biceps. That I've seen a lot of gym patients who come to me that they have upper body really good, but the lower body is not that good.
Yeah.
Um, I think
Yeah.
that's equally important, or rather, I would say that is more important than the upper body as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's
Learning some good stuff this morning, folks. Don't forget the phone lines are open if you have a burning question for the good doc, 936-2626. He is the one to talk to you about joints, anything orthopedic, really. But yeah. One of the exercises, Shamari, that they say to test your, again, tied to longevity, is your ability to sit on the ground. Remember when we were kids, we would sit
right.
what we
Squatting.
call like Indian style,
Yep.
legs
Yep.
crossed,
That's
to be
correct.
able to sit on the ground, legs crossed, and get up without your hands.
Support.
I can't do it. I
I'm
mean,
gonna have to try after we finish.
yeah, it's a lot harder than it looks. Trust me. But yes, that's a good one as well. Because again, that's showing you what you've got, the power that you've got in those quads and stuff for sure.
Right.
But yeah, lots of yeah, I know it's interesting. All right, folks, we're talking about joint pain this morning. Good morning, Abby. How are you? So a lot of joint pain is related to sports injuries. And of course, we have people who are active or they went from couch to potato to trying to run a 5K the following weekend. And so this leads to injuries. Some are overuse injuries and some are just you didn't stretch properly, you haven't used that ligament in a while, the muscles, whatever, and the joints will take the brunt of that, as well as the excess weight. So doc, say I'm 50 pounds overweight, maybe running on a hard pavement, trying to beat up somebody on the pickleball court isn't the best move. Like you walk first and take off a few pounds, and then you
Yeah.
ease into that life.
Absolutely, absolutely. More amount of the sports injuries, like specifically what you said about pickleball, I have been observing long since last 1 year. People, the sport is just marketed as if that anyone can play. It's like 70 years, 60 years, young, obese, everything. But what should be important, like I call a few people like a weekend warriors who get activated on Saturdays and Sundays to go and play the pickleball without having any sort of stretching or something like some activity before that. You should definitely do some stretching and your muscle memory as well, and make them some little bit of warm up before you really go into the game. And a lot of patients of these type have coming in with an tendo Achilles tear or rupture. Then they do have an ACL injuries and the PCL injuries as well, or the meniscus tears, because they haven't they inadequately trained the body or warmed up their body to undergo the stress and strain of the sport, and that really kicks in as a surprise to them. What they should do is that those people who are like recreational athletes without proper conditioning, if they do go into the sport, that's going to definitely be the result causing an injury. So they should do some workup, some stretching, some maybe a jogging or warming the body up, get the muscles getting used to that strain, what the muscle is going to come to in next 1 hour of their pickleball session. So that's going definitely going to decrease the amount of injuries that we are seeing nowadays.
Yes. All right. And the best types of stretches, let's talk about that, because I feel like a lot of people still don't really think too much about how they should be stretching. It's I don't know what the correct term is for it, Doc, but the stretching that has like a little bit of movement in it, as opposed to the longer. You know how whenever we used to do track and field or whatever activities we were
Yeah.
in when we were younger, they just have you do like a long stretch. Now
Yeah.
it's more like actual stretching with movement to kind of,
very, yeah, it's going to be very simple. In schools, we all have been to physical education, right? Simple stretching and a simple jog, like they used to teach us at PE about the upper body and the lower body. Even a 10 minutes of a stretching and a little bit of workout or jogging or warming up your body is going to be sufficient to avoid the injuries. There has been a really good, the place from where I come from is India. And we have a yoga type of thing which really helps us, like that's called Surya Namaskar. So that's going to be a big and very good stretching exercise that takes place from right from your neck to your upper shoulders, upper back, lower back, and the legs as well. So that's kind of a stretch that just touches your entire body. So you can just end up doing like 5 of them early morning, and that's all. That's all it's going to take to keep your ligaments and muscles in check.
all right.
It's going
I
to be a
I
little
feel like we probably
complicated.
might do a demonstration at the. we may do a demonstration at the end of all this, but very, very good.
Who's doing the demonstration? Are you volunteering, Sandy?
I think we
Yes,
can
yes,
do it
yes.
together.
Yeah, absolutely. So some of the more common sports injuries include ligament injuries such as ACL tears. Oh, thankfully I've never had that, but I hear it's very painful as well. Meniscus injuries in the knee, had a few of those. Tendonitis and overuse injuries, ankle sprains and instability. And let me tell you something about ankle pain. That's no joke. So when Shamari was talking about, he's always had a propensity for his issue to be in the ankles. For about a year and a half, I actually had an ankle injury that was probably just caused by not stretching again, right? So when I go to the foot doctor and certain therapists, they're always like, you have very developed calf muscles. But the problem with that is that means I don't have the elasticity that I need between the calf muscles and the ankle in particular. And so stretching that muscle every day should be something that I get up and automatically do. I don't always do it every day, but I try to do it even sometimes in the shower, right? Because it's that tight and it's that important. And so that caused an injury that then became a chronic injury. And I just couldn't get it resolved, Doc. I mean, I was doing everything and, trying not to take too many painkillers. You know what finally worked for me? It's called shockwave therapy. I'm sure you know of it. And so I did shockwave therapy. Again, not as drastic as having to do surgery or whatever. But shockwave therapy is what eventually got it under control. And so, but it was painful. The year and a half was like, oh my gosh, constant pain every single day. Yeah. But don't wait as long, because I think, again, as we said at the onset of the show, the longer you wait, the more difficult it's going to be, and it becomes more of a chronic issue.
Yeah. lot of patients do come with plantar fasciitis. What you are saying, the typical symptom is that early morning they just try to get off the bed, and it's the worst pain of their life that they really cannot walk for 2 or 3 steps. But as they go on walking, the pain subsides, and but this little amount of pain does stay. That's because two things. One is what you said, the calf muscles getting really spasmed or really tight, and the second, at the foot, on the side of the foot, there is a plantar fascia that connects the balls of your metatarsal and the heel bone. So that
Yeah.
at night it gets contracted, and when you in the morning when you try to walk again, it really tries to stretch itself out, and that pain is really bad. So a lot of patients, I think almost 20% of our OPD is with the plantar fasciitis. It's very simple. What you can do is that early morning you can just get off the bed, and what you said, the tip and toe exercises, like you stand on the heel, stretch your foot, and you be there and raise your heel. So it's like
Yeah.
on the toes, on the heel, on the toes, on the heel. You can just do like maybe a
Right.
20 times in morning as soon as you wake up. So that
Yeah.
stretches your all the calf muscles and the plantar fascia. That's very simple. It's going to take hardly like 3 minutes, and I think that can be dealt with. And you don't need to come to me with the pain. This can prevent a lot of plantar fasciitis for a lot of.
Yeah, I got a lot of foot issues still, but I'm trying to manage it as best I can. Dr. Victor Licoy in the house this morning. Good morning, sir. He says controlling the TM joint is crucial to a happy, healthy life. So tell us about the TM joint for those who may not even know where that is.
I There are a lot of TM joints in the body. What is specifically speaking about?
Oh,
Like it
okay.
can be, yeah, there can be three or
So,
four types of TM joint. What?
all
Yeah, but
right.
that he may probably saying this one.
That's
That's
a
smiling
temporal I forget how to pronounce
mandibular
it, but
joint.
yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably he's saying that. That's going to be like
Um,
happy, smiling face.
All right. Ankle sprains and instability, tendonitis and overuse injuries, lower back strain, another one that we can relate to. And all these injuries can occur in recreational and competitive settings. And of course, keep in mind now that we're also talking about carrying that excess weight and how that makes a difference. So even the excess weight, you don't need to be exercising to feel the impact of the excess weight. So just getting up and down because you're carrying that excess weight, the back pain and everything, it makes a huge difference. I think some people, I like to share my own experiences, Doc, because I think people can understand that we've all been there. We've all had these issues, and it's nothing to feel like you can't talk about. And for many, many years growing up, I had a lot of back pain. And I remember one time I actually had a tailbone injury. And I never even knew that there was such a thing. I'm like, what the heck? We still have tailbones? And it was, again, difficult to get up and down with this tailbone injury. And I didn't realize how much it impacted your ability to lift your leg. So I would get in the car and I couldn't lift my own leg because of the excruciating pain from the tailbone. So everything, we talk about this interconnectivity again, everything is interconnected. And so I'm going to say this like how my aunt would say it. She is so funny. Big shout out to my aunt from East End. East Enders have a special way of saying things. And so Aunt Adonia, AKA Topsy to many of you, would always say more than a handful is not a blessing, it's a curse. Right. And so she was talking about the chess handful. So, the Lord decided to bless me with a little bit too much. And I actually had, breast reduction surgery. But I must tell you, up until that point, even as someone who was very, very slim, carrying the excess weight in my chest meant that my back had to deal with the fallout from that. And, it restricted my ability to be as active as I wanted to be. And so it was such a godsend. And, insurance covered the surgery because, yes, it was medically necessary to get even 5 pounds off. And so, yeah, it was one of those things where, thank God, I was able to do that because it really made a difference in the back pain. and then that impacted other things and just the quality of life that you can have when you're not in constant pain. So weight also does this to you, Doc, and of course, again, something I can completely relate to. So let's talk about how weight influences injuries and arthritis.
Yeah. What you said about handful thing, and that definitely more than handful is cannot be a blessing. It can be a curse. So similarly, whatever weight we are actually ideal weight we should be having, if we are really just putting on more and more of it, it's going to be more and more of the fatty tissue in the body. It's going to increase your obesity, it's going to increase your diabetes, but what's important that along with this, it's going to really cause a lot of inflammatory markers that are going to rise in your body. So there are a few inflammatory markers like increase in the leptin, then interleukin beta. These are little complex terms, but I don't want to go into details of that. But definitely, what happens is that you let's put it like this: you just lose the anti-inflammatory stuff in the body, and it's more of an inflammatory stuff that comes out of the adipose tissue. All these things are going to get on affecting your cartilage. They're going to do a damage on at a biological way. Also, the dyslipidemia and the diet that you have is going to have land up in hyperlipidemia and other heart diseases as well. um, Along with this damage to the cartilage, putting pounds and pounds of weight on your knees. If you are 100 pounds, you are putting like 700 pounds of weight on your knees. So the
Jeez.
cartilage damage, overloading your joints, and along with that, the stress and strain of your vectors or the muscles acting on your body, definitely you're going to land into that arthritis much, much sooner. Like the comparison is if an average man with a healthy weight is going to land into arthritis by 70 or 75, the same man with a having an BMI which is around more than 40 is going to land there in 45 years of life.
Wow.
So, and what happens is that the quality of life, the chronic pain, the less mobility, less independence, psychological burden, and increased health utilization, of course, because of all these things. All these things are definitely going to bring down your quality of life as well. And these arthritis, which occurs really early age, are going to make you living more of a disability lived years, what I call it. So you are young, you want to be active, but you are living in a disability because of the pain and the psychological trauma that you go through. So the best part is that you can just try to reduce even a 10% of weight, which is going to bring down like 30% of better lifestyle for you. So these type of arthritis, definitely we can prevent them. And to treat them, what we need to do is that it all depends upon the stages of your arthritis. Like I said, strengthening of muscles, your quadriceps, your hamstrings, and losing a weight, having right amount of diet and everything. The gold standard to prevent this or getting off the obesity and getting better on the arthritis is going to be your aerobic exercises and the resistance exercises with the weights, because more amount of muscle you have, the more amount of the fat and all other things are getting consumed by the muscles, so they are going to be much healthier individuals overall. So I think putting down the obesity is going to be the biggest thing to think for it. And if you really have a bad arthritis like grade 4 arthritis, you definitely need a knee replacement surgery for that. If you're like grade 1 or grade 2, obviously we do at Health City, we do have an bariatric orthopedic pathway where we as a team have a bariatric surgeon, the gastro surgeon as well, who are going to look into your health of your obesity, where you need to really bring down the weight. There are going to be the physicians who are going to look at your general health as well, and the joint and the other factors are going to be taken care by the orthopedic team. So this team approach is definitely going to help any of the obese patients to get back to normal life and active lifestyle. Once your knees are fixed, your weight starts coming down. Obviously, you have diabetes, hypertension, dyslipidemia. So you start walking around, your weight reduces much and much. I call it like a fatal obesity cycle, right? And that's what I have named it. Like you have a lot of food, you don't do it actively. What piles up is pounds and pounds of the adipose tissue or the fat on your body, which leads to diabetes, hypertension, dyslipidemia, cardiac disease, and
Mm-hmm.
ultimately osteoarthritis of the knee. Now your knees are aching. Now the pain is more in your knees. You're already obese, you can't move. So you can't move, you eat more, you don't move. The cycle just goes on and on. It's like a Ferris wheel. It never stops. So what you need to
Mm-hmm.
do is that you have to stop this at some time. Otherwise, this fatal obesity cycle is going to lead into lot complicated things.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to stop it. Just show to your physician in time, get a medical help. There are a lot of things that we can do. Fixing the knees or the hips or the ankles is going to make you more mobile. More
Mm-hmm.
mobility, weight loss is going to come down. Like
Yeah.
we have observed all the patients who are obese and we have done a knee replacement surgery for them, those
Mm-hmm.
patients have come down drastically on their medications with diabetes and hypertension because the weight loss, the insulin resistance comes down. The heart has to work less because your surface area and the body weight goes on decreasing. So the antihypertensive medications also decrease. So these all things are going to give you a good quality of life
Mm-hmm.
and a better life ultimately.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the sedentary lifestyle is literally killing us. I have a few video clips that I'll share in a little
Yeah.
bit, but we need to understand the importance of what the doctor is saying here, folks. The obesity, the wrong diet, the sedentary lifestyle, sitting all day at a computer desk, which a lot of us do. Yesterday was one of those days for me. Like some days, I find that it is really difficult to, because you've got so many things to do in front of the computer. And so, every little thing we can do to help. So this morning, as an example of how I thought to myself, okay, yesterday I sat way too much during the day. I've got a standing element to my desk. So during this morning show, I'm actually standing as opposed to sitting.
Mhm.
And at one point I used to stand for the first couple of years of doing the show. I never sat during the morning show. Then I got a little bit lazy some mornings and I started to sit. I found that, once you start to sit, Doc, the body is comfortable in a sitting
Yeah.
position, but it just isn't healthy for you. So, force yourself to get up, and you'll notice sometimes that when I do stand, you'll also see me kind of doing other things, like I'm kind of, moving from side to side, kind of stretching out the knee and stuff a little bit. But get up, folks. A standing desk is, you don't have to, they can be expensive. Like if you get a full size desk, of course, they can be very, very expensive. But what I have here at home is a very inexpensive alternative where it's the portion that you put on top of your desk, because this desk here can't be moved. It's like built into the actual room, right? So this standing component sits on top of my desk and it has like my board and a few other elements, and so I can lift it up and down when I want to get up, because that sedentary lifestyle is, going to shorten your life by quite a number of years. So get to moving. Small things help. We don't have to go out there again and think that you've got to run a marathon. Look at Shamari. He's a perfect example of just the act of walking and being consistent with it makes all the difference in the world. Shamari, how many pounds you got? 50
Uh,
pounds?
55.
55. Look at that.
Yeah, since April last year.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
That's amazing. Really
That's
and truly.
amazing. So
Yeah,
you have just
absolutely.
lost 55.
Yeah, 55
Yeah.
pounds. Yeah, since
Oh,
April last.
that itself has reduced maybe 500 pounds of weight on your knees.
See, so
That's
now I can try and dunk.
yeah.
Yeah, that's so wild. Oh my goodness. Truly, truly amazing. And we find motivation in different things. So thank you, Shamari, for recommending the walking app, which again lets me know the days that I'm totally not on target at all and when I'm missing it. And we have technology now that can help us, right? Because again, our lifestyle is centered around computers and meetings all day and that sort of thing. But just having a smart watch or a smart ring or some little device that is going to tell you, even your phone alerts, to get up and move. It reminds you, you've been sitting for too long. Let's see some movement. These things are extremely helpful. So think about getting, I remember when Dr. Shetty opened the Camana Bay location, he was talking about the benefit of these smart health devices. And he said everybody should try to get one of some sort. There are, more expensive options or cheaper options. Just find something within your budget, because it really can help keep track of things for you, everything from your heart rate to other metrics. And more importantly, it's recording this information, and most of them will remind you, you've been sitting for too long. Let's see some movement. Get up, get moving. So very, very important.
And have you used your sleep app, or you haven't started using the sleep app as yet?
Yes, I have been. And it's made me adjust a few things in my life, because of course, I think I've mentioned it, I don't do really well with the sleeping, which again is so critical for the body's recovery. And so I'm trying to be in bed a little bit earlier. I'm still last night was still a midnight kind of night, but I do get the alert that says start to wind down a little bit. Come off the computer, come off the smart devices. Sometimes I'll take my magnesium at that point as well to kind of get ready for bed. So yeah. My biggest thing, Dr. Devendra, with sleeping is I just need to get to bed earlier. When I get to bed, I shouldn't say I'm an okay sleeper, because I wake up like 50 million times, but if I got to bed earlier, I would have more time, even if I'm waking up, right? So yes, this excess weight on your joints is so important, that extra load, 3 to 6 times your body weight for the hip joints, the knee joints 4 to 7 times, and the ankle joints 2 to 3 times of your body weight. So again, it's taken the bulk of, your knee seems to take a real hard hit there, but everything is completely interconnected for sure. So thank you so much, Dr. Devendra. You got some fans here this morning in the comment section. Trisha says, I had the same problem and I went to an orthopedic specialist and was told that it's arthritis, and it was so bad that the pain was just so bad I had to use crutches to walk. I did a knee replacement surgery in January, and I'm happy to say that I don't feel any pain, but my knee replacement surgery was a high-risk surgery because of the severe damage over the years, that the recovery will take more than 6 months to be able to get back to normal. And I went from using a wheelchair, walker, crutches, and unfortunately got cut off, but I'm sure she says that she's back to walking now. Orthopedic surgeries have increased over the years. And again, the common denominator is our lifestyle.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, pretty wild lifestyle. Like you rightly said, how many of people in Cayman Islands are sitting on the desk? Just imagine them, right? If we take like 100 people at this point of time, maybe 80 of them are sitting on the desk right now. So we all have a
sitting in the
sedentary
traffic,
lifestyle.
sitting in the car.
Sitting in the car. So everybody all over the island, everybody's sitting, right? So it's not like we are in old ages. People used to do farming and a lot of other physical stuff. We used to do gardening. Everything used to be done by us, every single thing in the activity in this world. But nowadays, we have more of a desk job. So we have to put in a little bit of effort to really get active, come what may. Maybe a 20 minutes of time, a simple walk, as Shomari said. A simple walk, like maybe a mile or so. It's going to take you like 20 minutes a day. But that's going to be making a big difference in your life. I just wanted to ask Shomari one thing. As we were discussing a lot about obesity, you lost 55 pounds. Have you experienced that the small aches and pains that used to really bother you, maybe sometimes a knee, sometimes an ankle or something, they have gone away after you have lost the weight?
Yeah, definitely. So it's always my ankles were always the issue from when I was playing back in the day. And then as I stopped playing and gained weight, my ankles would always act up a little bit. But since I've gone down, ankles feel great, but as I mentioned, when I'm playing ball, I still strap up the ankles just because it's comfort now, right? Versus
that definitely has helped you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been amazing, and I mean, even energy levels are more amazing now than before, and it's just. I think I sleep better because my sleep app is telling me I'm sleeping better as well. It tells me my heart dip. It measures my heart dip rate, and it's like double what it is when I don't. exercise that day. So it's really showing that it's definitely helped.
Yeah, the other thing that I wanted to tell you, or tell all the audience over here, is that we do have, at the start you mentioned, with the advanced technologies, what we have at Health City, we are at par with any international center. So we have the arthroscopic keyhole surgeries that we do for meniscus. It's the same day patient starts walking again, without
Yes.
having any pain, right? He comes down in the early morning, we do the keyhole surgery, 2 stitches, and he starts walking in without pain. For joint replacement, we have got a robotic that's really a state of art Cori robotic system, which definitely helps us to a lot of things. The robotic system with the surgeon, skilled surgeon, is going to have a perfect precision and perfection every single time. It's going to really reduce your surgical time, reduce the blood loss a lot, and definitely it's going to be improving your patient satisfaction score at the end of it, and decrease the timeline for the recovery as well. The patients get on their feet as soon as possible, and by the end of a month or so, they are driving around and buying their groceries. So right amount of physio and right amount of technique with use, as you said and pointed out, using the sleep app, using your health app. So this is the next big thing that comes with doctors as well. Using some technology along with a skilled surgeon definitely has a better outcomes.
Wonderful. Shamari, I'm going to send you something. I don't know if you're familiar with the Japanese walking method.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna send you something to kick up your walking into the next level.
Okay.
Me as well.
Yeah. Okay. Doc, I'm one of those people who has all of the knowledge up here, but actually isn't putting it into practice at the moment. But when I start, I'm ready to go because I know what to do.
But you have to get ready for it. Doc, she has challenged me to pick a ball.
I know.
So-
Gotta get ready.
Stretching first.
Janvitha says, hi, Doc. Proud of you. Jay Cortho says, excellent, Dr. Devendra. We're all proud of you. Miss Anita is enjoying the program this morning. She says, your practical advice and joint care and injury prevention is deeply appreciated and incredibly helpful. Thank you so much. Alfred has another question. Says, Dr. Devendra, are there certain foods and supplements to help joint pain? For example, the glucosamine, chondroitin, collagen, etc. And are there certain foods to avoid that negatively affect joint health? Good question.
Yeah. So taking the supplements, I think eating healthy, that's usually the thing. The eating healthy is definitely going to be good for your health. But there recently has been a paper that is presented about an anti-inflammatory diet.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of things that we do inject in a body, which causes that has got a free radicals in it. A lot of free radicals are generated in a body, like a fried food or something which is have carbonized food, which we take inside our body. That increases a lot of
the sodas, folks. Oh God, don't tell me about a Pepsi this morning.
Oh no, I'm not going to take about sodas. Yeah. But the thing is, what I mean to say, all the diet which is going to cause inflammation in your body is definitely going to go and affect your cartilage as well. So any diet that's bad for health is bad for the joint as well. Coming down to specific things like chondroitin or collagen, these things you require only if the knee or the cartilage is getting damaged. These are not the things that you should be taking off and on, like the way we take magnesium or selenium or other supplements. So these are indicated only if you have some problems or it's been proved that there is some cartilage erosion inside your body. Otherwise, I don't think so anybody should be taking these supplements on a regular basis.
Very good and direct answer. Thank you, Doc. Mad Hud Hole says, very informative. Daisy says, well done, Shamari. Miss Alba, good morning to you. Buenos dias. So early signs and what to watch out for: persistent joint pain or stiffness, swelling after activity, reduced range of motion, the clicking, locking, and instability in the joint that Alfred mentioned sometimes he can hear, and pain that worsens with weight-bearing activity. So high-risk groups, Doc, include individuals with a higher body weight, increasing the stress on the joints as we've already discussed. Inactive individuals are those returning to activity suddenly. Recreational, yes, the weekend warriors on the pickleball court. I see you all the time.
Yeah.
Because listen, can I just tell you something about pickleball? Pickleball is deceptive because you get on the court and you start to have so much fun.
Yeah.
And if you're playing with someone who's like way better than you and they're really pushing you and they're making you run and you feel like you're darting across the court, that's when you're overdoing it and you don't even realize it.
Yes, that's true.
So you gotta ease into it. That's why I want to play Shamari before I get back to playing the Premier, because I know the Premier has been consistently playing, so he's going to give me a run for my money. Shamari, on the other hand, he's still going to be learning the game. He's going to be trying to figure out his shot, and that gives me a little moment to kind of between runs, kind of stretch it out a little bit. So.
I'm going to practice over the summer. Towards the tail end of the summer, before we come back on the show, we can have a game.
No. Well, you got to come practice with me, because then that way I can start to warm up as well.
No. When we play, I need to beat you. I'm not helping you.
No. You see, this is the competitiveness that comes out, and then next thing you know, I'll be going into surgery for the next knee.
No, if you follow my advices, what we have discussed today morning, probably not, Sandra.
Yes, I'm gonna do just that. I'm gonna do better, Doc. I'm gonna do better. All right, recreational athletes without proper conditioning, persons with a previous joint injury. Of course, you're more likely to have other injuries, and then older adults tend to naturally have joint wear over time. So this is the vicious cycle of fatal obesity cycle. I like this graph here because this sums it up. You got the weight gain. Look at the guy on the scale with a burger and soda in his hand. Oh my goodness.
That's created by me. Sorry I really don't want to really say something bad about anyone, but that's just I think
we get it. We get it. We totally get it. And then the vicious cycle is diabetes, hypertension. What is this dyslipidemia?
Dyslipidemia, that you are having excess of cholesterol and all other bad fat in the body.
Oh, okay. All right. Cardiac disease. And then you see the medication, the blood pressure monitor, the heart, all these things. And then all of that leads to less mobility and pain due to osteoarthritis. And then you want to sit down more, and the vicious cycle continues. So you got to break that cycle. And the easiest thing in the world to break the cycle is walking. Walking is, I was looking at this yesterday. They were like, it's great if you want to do cardio, but in fact, you don't have to. Cardio doesn't equal weight loss. And I know this is counterintuitive. People think that it does, but it actually doesn't, because people who do the more high energy cardio, they're trying to run, they're trying to cycle, all this kind of stuff, they actually tend to increase their appetite. And so as a result of the cardio, they're eating more food. And so 2 simple things to weight loss, Shamari has proven: walking and weights. And if you just did just those 2 things, you'd be surprised how much of an impact. So just getting up, folks, off of the couch, going for a walk, getting away from that desk. One of the key things now that they have found, which again, like I said, I'm a wealth of information. If you need to know what to do, you can just ask me and the good doc, of course. But one of the key things is to go walking after a meal within the first 10 minutes. But that's kind of difficult because most of us are still sitting down talking or whatever. But if you can get up and go walking after a meal for 15 minutes, doing that consistently after your meals actually will lead to weight loss. Yeah.
Sandra,
so it's
I have
amazing.
a small statement for this. Like, what you can do is really remember this statement, like, walk when you talk. That makes your life easy. Like, if you're speaking on the phone with one of your friends, which you're going to chat for like a half an hour, just whenever you're picking up the phone in the evening after your meals and you want to discuss something about your work or anything, just walk when you talk.
I love it.
That makes your
Yeah.
life easy. Walk when you talk. You pick
Yeah.
up the phone in the evening when you're not working, just walk. The time you are having a phone on your ears, your legs should keep on working for that. So walk when you talk.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. I got to figure out a way to walk during the morning show because then I could get in a good half an hour of walking for sure. All right.
But they have those walking
The
those
walking
walking
pads.
Walking desk.
pads with the where
Shamari,
you
I
can set it
literally
up.
have one right here next to me. That
What?
was my.
Well, then
I have good
you have the
intentions.
solution. You have the solution right there.
Absolutely. Good intentions, but I haven't yet done it because I'm afraid that when I get into a topic really, really good, I'll forget to walk. And then next thing you know, it'll fly me into the door and I'll be calling, the Health City number. Please come and just get me. Take me straight to ortho. I have it here, but I've yet to use it because I'm thinking, I don't know if it's such a good idea for me to watch during the show. Like my head thinks I can do it, but the other practical side of me is like, you may be asking for an injury. So I'm still working out the logistics of it. But yes, I bought a walking pad for that same reason because, we have the treadmill and whatever in the gym, but I can move this around easily from like one room to the next. Good intentions. But what do they say? What was built in good intentions? Certainly not Rome.
Yeah, definitely. The
But we're
road
going to get there,
to
folks. We are going to get there. Yes. All right, Doc. And of course, when you're at that point where all else fails, you got to come in and get I wouldn't even say all else fails because sometimes you need that pep talk from your physician to start exercising, to start getting on a better weight management and pain management plan. So talk about some of the treatment options that are available.
Right. We have spoken a lot about the conservative things. Now let's come down to some things which are going to be like a minimal invasive thing, or the first step where we're going to really manage these kind of pains. What's going to happen is that there are a few options for the knee pain as well. The first, as I said, you have to diagnose it. In young people which have got meniscus tear or maybe a ligament tear or something like that, the best option where the cartilage is intact, you have to go and fix it. So let me just explain in short what exactly happens. Like I said, there are two bones, maybe the bone in the femur and the bone in the tibia. They both are connected. They do have a cartilage over it at the joint, and there is a fluid inside that. And there is some cushions in between the two bones. That's going to be meniscus. That's going to act like a shock absorber with every single step that you're going to run. Now, what usually should happen, the cartilage is smooth, the meniscus has to be smooth above and below, and the cartilage on the lower bone, that's the tibia, has to be smooth. So what happens, there occurs a gliding movement in an entire of your joint, and so there is no friction. So no friction, no pain. What happens when you get a meniscus tear, definitely some fibers of your cushion are torn, and every single time that you're going to bend your knee, it's going to scrape off your cartilage from the joint, from the bone. And that every single time you bend and every single time you put the weight, that rough surface of the torn meniscus is going to scratch your cartilage every single time. Just imagine how many times you're walking in the day. So that's every single time it keeps on damaging inside, and that causes the pain. So if we diagnose this, we can fix this by doing an arthroscopy of the knee. So what we are going to do is that we are going to remove that rough surface and again make it smooth again, fix the meniscus, repair the meniscus. If complex tear, it needs to be excised so that it prevents the further damage to the knee. If there are ligament injuries, the instability is just going to ground two bones together every single time. So we have to fix the ACL ligament by arthroscopy. So in young individuals, definitely all these surgeries do help by arthroscopy. And why should we be doing it? Because a lot of these patients with meniscus or ACL, they are able to walk. So nobody feels the need to get on it and get on to go for a surgery. But then if you don't do it, the arthritis which should be occurring at 70 years of age, you're going to face that by the age of 50 or 55. So that's going to be really bad for you. To prevent that, definitely you need to go in and do the surgery, diagnose it, and get the surgery done. This happens with the young patients. With the old patients, which really don't have, and the main aim to these surgeries of arthroscopy is to prevent the arthritis. So the patients which already have the arthritis, the arthroscopy is just going to be like a supportive therapy where we are just trying to push the knee replacement further and further by just leveling up the joint and clearing and balancing the meniscus. Before that, there is a lot of discussion that happens about intra-articular injections. Few of them do. I'm not a great fan of putting a steroid shots inside the joint because I do not discourage or say that that's wrong. That definitely is a one way of allaying your pain temporarily. But for me, what I think is the joint is a sterile environment. So as far as possible, diagnosing and treating it in a proper way makes the sense, because injecting a steroid, you're really not going to treat the cause of it, the arthritis of it. It's just going to be a pain relief or local anti-inflammatory for a while. So pushing the surgery, I think the steroid injections do make a sense. But then as a treatment part, it's just going to decrease your pain. So that is one of the option. The second option is that having the hyaluronic acid injections inside your knee. So they are going to add a lubrication for your knee as well. So if there is a squeaking door or something, what we then need to do is we just go and oil it. So the squeaking just stops. It's the same kind of an equivalent kind of a thing. So if you have a crepitus, bad pain, we can inject a hyaluronic acid that can last for a year or so. But the disease, again, the disease is still going to be there. The arthritis is still going to be there. So the pain is going to come back to you, maybe in a worst way, over a period of time. So these are the few things that we can use to push the surgery or a definitive knee replacement much farther.
All right, fantastic. We have learned so much here today, Doc. Thank you so much. Of course, we know the complications if you leave these things untreated: worsening pain, reduced mobility, progressing to more chronic joint damage, osteoarthritis, joint instability, which is an increased risk of further injury, and reduced quality of life and limitations in daily activities. And trust me, if you've ever had a chronic injury, you know that quality of life reduction can be so significant. It impacts your mental health. And just not feeling you're in constant pain and that's all your brain can focus on. It's just not a good spot to be in. So please don't suffer in pain. You really, really don't have to. So more complex cases might require surgical intervention, but it's your experts that, in conjunction with them, their advice, they can tell you whether or not you're looking at that now, later, or what is the best thing. Prevention tips: again, maintaining a healthy weight to reduce the joint load, engage in low impact activities such as swimming, cycling, or walking, strengthen muscles around the key joints for stability, and using proper technique and appropriate footwear. And let me just say this about footwear. I know Marlon's not listening. My husband's not listening. But every time he talks about me and my granny shoes, I have to remind him that at a particular age, it is no longer about style. It is about practicality and having good foot support. You cannot replace that really with anything else. Ladies in particular, who still want to be squeezing their feet into little itty bitty high heels and stuff. Proper footwear can really make all the difference in the world and allow adequate recovery time between activities. And then we'll do what Shamari does as well. And I do this, put on a knee brace. Like, you have a tendency to have knee issues. Put on the knee brace to give that knee a little bit more support when you're having that activity. Good morning to Miss Lavana. She says, I'm in my 7th month now after doing my hip replacement surgery. It was the best decision I ever made. I'm still healing, but the pain before was excruciating.
Yeah.
And of course, she went to Health City, Cayman Islands for her surgery. And so she is well on the road to recovery. Shamari, we got a special message for you. Basically,
we shall see. This
is for the benefit of our radio listeners, basically saying that Germany is going to crush Brazil. Ay.
Yeah.
So Shamari is going to stick with
words. Those are fighting words. We'll see. If Germany makes it as far as Brazil, maybe they'll meet up, but we'll see.
Yes.
But Sandy, before we go, I just want to let the listening audience know that we have two special prizes on our social media channels. So go on our Instagram, go on our Facebook. First prize is a men's health check. So for all of those men that would like to win, you just go ahead and actually register there online. You get the details there. And the second prize is 1 month training pass, the F45 training in Cayman. So you get a men's health as the first prize, you get F45 training as a second prize, and until the end of June, there's $150 off of your men's executive health check. So if you actually book it within June, you'll get it for $550 US versus $749 US. So it's $199. So actually $199 US off. So get your men's health check as well for, as you always say, know your numbers, understands what's going on with you. And, if there is an issue that's persistent as well, that's caught, then you may be able to go ahead and get that advice of which physician to see further to help with your ailments as well.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. We got one more here for us that came in. This person says, I ate so much Rice Krispie cereal that my knees now go snap, crackle, and pop. That's certainly one explanation for the noises. Our listeners, Doc, they're full of a lot of
I love them. I love them,
Yes.
Sandra. And they love you as well.
Yes, they're full of a lot of good commentary. So Dr. Devendra, I think is he still the newest team member in the orthopedic team? Because the team is getting larger by the day. But I met him last year after my surgery, and it was such a delight, Doc.
Thank you,
You're
Sandra.
very, very easy to talk to when you explain things. It's understandable. But I find that all of the orthopedic team that I've had the pleasure of dealing with at Health City have been absolutely amazing. Dr. Nuranjan also, he loves to pull out his little diagrams. So he's going to get out the knee joint sample and show you exactly what's going on. Because it's difficult when you deal with physicians who only know how to speak to you at one level. I really love that you guys can break it down in common language. So I appreciate you coming on the program today.
Thank you. I just have a small last word, if I may. Do I have time? Like one minute?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I just want to close all the things for your audience that life is a moment. So if the movement stops, life shrinks and disappears. Okay. So just protect your joints today so that they can carry you tomorrow. And the final thing is that move it or lose it.
Yep.
So
I hear that.
I feel that you just need to remember this. Two things from today, maybe walk when you talk and move it or lose it.
Ah, there we go. Sounds like a song. We can
Move it or
sing the
lose
song
it.
while we're moving.
Move it or
Yeah.
lose it. Come on. Like walk when you talk
Absolutely.
and move it or lose it.
Yeah.
So I think
I
that's going
love
to keep
it.
our audience of Cayman Islands
I love
healthy.
it. Yes. And on that note,
And
Shamari,
to answer your question,
get up. There was
I know what you were trying to do. I am good. Dr. Devendra.
You were going to
Dr.
show us a particular stretch, I believe.
I know. Right now, I have to rush for our operation room. I'll definitely do that. But see, I'm in a hospital. Like I'm in my OPD room, so it's not. I need to get my yoga mat as well. I definitely would love to do that.
Yes.
You guys can just put it.
We should do a special segment, yoga with the docs. You know what I'm saying, Shamari?
Yep. And I just want to mention that Dr. Devendra is the latest senior orthopedic surgeon, so standalone consultant that's with us. So whomever has issues that has loved to hear from Dr. Devendra can definitely book to come and see him directly as well.
Yeah, wonderful. Miss Tanya says that she had hip surgery at Health City as well. Aftercare and everything was perfect. Romelia, late to class this morning, I see, says what causes the knees to swell and painful in the back of the knee when you move, you hear your kneecap cracking. So we talked about that earlier, the cracking part. But when you have swelling, normally that means you should go in and see a physician, right?
Yes, definitely. Yes, you should. Because only crackling along with the pain, swelling, inflammation, rest pain, or stiffness, definitely
Yeah.
that needs medical attention. Do not postpone it.
So,
All
so we're
right.
gonna have a whole yoga stretching session,
Yes.
Sandy.
Yes. I'm ready. I'm ready. Thank you so much to Dr. Devendra. It's been
Thank you.
amazing
Nice
having
to
you in the
see
show.
you. Yeah.
I do believe this is actually your first time on the program.
Yeah, that's my first time, right, Sandra?
Yes.
You never
Yep.
called me in 1 year.
Ah, my goodness. That means I've been doing okay.
Probably you have too many people that really good fan of yours, and I've heard a lot about you. So you're doing
Oh,
a great
thank you.
work. I
Thank you
appreciate.
so much. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And Shamari, Miss Tanya is also taking you on with the Germans. You know, she's originally from Germany. So
Oh.
she says, who's going to be
We'll,
losing?
we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Shamari, you have to
But Miss
you have
Anita
to
does
ask the
want to
question what's
see,
on the line. You
Miss
have to ask
Anita
the
does
question
want to
what's
see
on the
that
line.
stretch. So Anita, Shamari, can you show us that stretch that,
Which stretch is that?
we had mentioned it earlier. What was it called, Doc?
Yeah, it's called Surya Namaskar.
Yeah, listen, you're going to have to demonstrate
Yeah,
because
can I put it some in chat?
I guess
Yeah, I can just kind of like put it
we,
in
we
that.
we wanted to see what it looked like. I think
I
people
think
wanted a demonstration.
Yeah, I'm not
Oh my
demonstrating.
God. That's
I'm
gonna be-
not demonstrating.
All right,
I
send
need
me.
practice to know how I look in the stretch prior to
So I have just put it on the chat box. You can just share
Okay.
that to the
All right,
audience. I think you
I'll
can
I'll
put it
look it
on
up.
YouTube. You get it
Yes,
all. I think
I'll look it up. Don't worry.
5 a day is going to make a big difference in life.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, don't worry, folks. I've got lots of video tips for us this morning. Every little bit, I think the lesson here, always with Health City, is prevention is better than cure. One of her fans to the program actually messaged me this morning, said, "Hey, Sandy, you haven't heard from me in a little bit last week because I actually had emergency heart surgery. I had a massive heart attack." And I'm thinking, what? You don't look like someone who would be having a massive heart attack. You just never know. So, folks, I want to encourage all of us to do what we can. Every little bit helps. Movement really is the foundation. Obviously, you can't outrun a bad diet. We know that. So make sure that you're making small improvements in your diet as well. But the movement is so important. A healthier lifestyle, less stress. All of these things as we pray for him to have a full recovery. He's still in the hospital overseas after having triple bypass surgery. But, do what we can because, again, no family history of heart disease or anything. So he was a bit taken aback by it. But most of the time, there is no family history. It comes down to our lifestyle, sedentary lifestyle, poor diets. Some of us are slim, but we're what we call fat skinny, which is not good because you're carrying it on the inside, the visceral fat around your organs. So just looking at someone, you can't always tell if they are in great health. But the good doctors here at Health City in Shamari are always here to remind us of the things that we can do to help ourselves get into a better physical state. And when you need their assistance, that's what they're there for. So Miss Romelia, when you're having that kind of pain, that's when you want to reach out to the orthopedic team and they can bring you in and have a look at what's going on. And don't delay. Don't be like me and wait months and months and months of feeling the pain. No. Get in there and get it diagnosed early. Thank you, doctor. Please have a beautiful day.
Yeah, thank you.
Was it doc? Walk when you talk and move it or lose it.
That's right.
It's walk when you talk and move it or lose it. I think you should just print it and keep it in front of you. Like whenever you're picking up the phone, just start walking. I think you don't really need to put an extra effort. You can just complete it, right? Walk when you talk.
Absolutely.
Move it or lose it.
And honestly, I'm one of those people, I have zero excuses except, I just got to get started. For me, the getting started part, but once I get started,
Yeah, when you pick up the phone, you need to walk. That's very simple.
Oh my God, I'd be skinny because I'd be walking 24/7. I'm always on the phone.
Walk when you talk.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Devendra, the
you.
latest
It was a pleasure.
member of the
Early morning.
orthopedic team at Health City Cayman Islands. Thank you, sir. Shamari Scott, thank you very, very much. You said Brazil is playing today.
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay. All right. So good luck. I will look up who is playing today and let everybody know. But thank you so very much, and you have a wonderful day.
Ghana is playing England today, so I know a lot of people are going to be
Oh,
watching that one. That's going to be a big one today.
okay.
That's at 4 p.m.
All right, hold on. Let me I'm gonna go now and have a look at who's normally there's like 4 matches a day, but we're gonna pull this up here and I'll tell you guys exactly who is playing.
Yeah, so Portugal is playing Uzbekistan at midday, Cayman time. England, Ghana at 3 p.m. Cayman time. Panama, Croatia at 6 p.m. Cayman time. Colombia and Congo DR at 9 p.m. Cayman time.
All right, wonderful. Yes, I've got it right here. Thank
but I
you
know
so
that
much.
that Ghana England match should be a great match. So
yeah. Okay. All right. I just sent it out to my little team here that pays attention to all of these things, and they want the schedule of where they can watch it. So great. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
awesome.
Thanks, Shamari.
See you next week, Sandy. All right.
All right, folks. So yes, England versus Ghana. That's at 4 p.m. And hold on one second now. Just making sure that our team gets these. Before that, we have Portugal versus Uzbekistan at 1 p.m. And then Panama and Croatia. That should be an interesting game at 7 p.m. And then the next match is going to be Colombia versus Congo DR. And that's at 10 p.m. Tonight. So beautiful. Okay. All right, wonderful. So I'm going to just send this out. And I want to leave you guys with a little bit of food for thought. We were talking about the importance of getting more active and moving. And so let's talk about the cardio element of it. Have a listen to this.
Doing cardio to lose weight. Cardio is fantastic for your heart health, lung capacity, and your VO2 max, but for fat loss, it's one of the most inefficient tools in the box. First, it burns way fewer calories than you think, and it gets even worse because the more that your body adapts to it, the less calories you burn. Next is that excessive cardio actually increases appetite. So those 200 calories that you thought you burned with the hour-long run will leave you ravenous at the end of it, wanting to eat those back in a second. And also, if you do cardio excessively, you run the risk of burning muscle as well as increasing your overuse injuries. And the most important part, let's say that you did force yourself to do cardio for months and you actually dropped 20 pounds. Well, guess what? You have to maintain that same mileage just to keep the weight off. And the worst part is you don't even know if that weight that you lost was fat or even muscle. Now, I'm not saying that cardio is bad. If you love running, cycling, or swimming, go ahead and do it. But intent matters. So if you're forcing yourself treadmill just because you think it's the only way to lose fat, please stop. It's way easier to not eat 100 calories than it is to burn 100 calories on the treadmill. So what should you do instead? 2 things, weights and walking. So lifting weights helps you build muscle, which also helps you maintain a healthy metabolism, improve insulin sensitivity, and turn your body into a fat burning machine even at rest. And walking burns fat without destroying your joints or signaling to your body to increase appetite or breaking down muscle. This combo is how you lose fat and keep it off in a sustainable way without turning exercise into a punishment. And I created a free guide on the exact lean body protocol we use to help our clients lose belly fat. Follow me and comment lean and I'll send it to you.
All right, folks. Oops, good advice there for us today. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I see I gotta adjust my camera just a little tips for when I'm standing. Yes, because I haven't been standing in a minute. There we go. Let's see now. It was cutting off my head there for a second. All right, one little adjustment that way. Yeah, I think we're good. Now the top of my head is still there. All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Evelyn says, Argentina, all the way. I'm going to take my shoes off. There we go. I'm standing on my tension mat. That's the other thing when you stand in one place for a while. These little tension mats really do help. So that was a great show. Thank you guys so much. Phone lines are open, 936-2626. Let's talk about thieving people. Oh my gosh. What a hot mess. This young lady we featured before. And, I really, oh my gosh. It's just really sad when Caymanians get involved in misbehaving. I don't like to see this. Nobody feels proud when our own people demonstrate the kind of behavior that we try to speak up about on a regular basis. But the unfortunate truth is, we do have quite a number of our own people who they scam people for a living. That's what they do. I always thought to myself, if they put this kind of energy into a legitimate job, the world would be their oyster. They could accomplish anything. Because not for nothing, but am I the only person who thinks that it takes a lot of energy to be scamming people, deceiving people, lying, taking money from hardworking people? Like, I'm just like, why? Put that energy into, obviously you got time on your hands, right? You're being creative. You're figuring out how to take money from hardworking people. So put that kind of energy into something a bit more positive. That's how I feel about it. I'm like, you can do it, girl. You can stop stealing from people. Who am I talking about? This Vanessa lady. She is prolific, evidently. The people who know her, and we've reported on her before, that she's a really prolific thief. She's already been to jail. She's scammed people before. She's come out and has simply not learned her lessons. Well, she's back in court again, honey child. Ay, ay, ay. What a calamity. Yep, she's back in court again. And this time she is there for another scheme of hers, which has her potentially facing some jail time yet again. Because once the court hears, when she's found guilty, which she will be, this looks like a pretty airtight case. When the court hears that she is yet again engaging in this kind of behavior, not going to look good for her. Here's a picture of her. Let me show you who we're talking about. This woman even goes around telling people that she has cancer and stuff in order to steal from them to get money. Yeah, look. So there she is. And the charges this time are as follows. Give me 1 second here, honey child. Let me tell you exactly what she's facing this time. This one is relating to a vehicle scam. And in fact, I'm proud to say that we're the one who exposed this scammer. Yeah, we alerted the authorities. Here's another one for you. So her name is Vanessa Alyssa Carnegie Christie. And I think she also goes by Vanessa Scott. So there is another Vanessa Scott. That Vanessa is normally here in the mornings on the show. And she is like, I am so sick and tired of this woman always making me look bad. So back in May of last year, you guys might remember, we did a whole show on her, a whole expose about how she was claiming to have cancer. And, she sends people these pictures about how she's having, this treatment done, and she shows them pictures of a little puncture wound that she claims is where they're putting in the chemotherapy, all kind of stuff. This girl is just not an honest person, right? So thank you to the Financial Crime Unit, because we encourage people that if you'd been a victim of hers and you'd been defrauded, to please reach out to the authorities. And evidently you guys did. And thank you very much for the victims that came forward and alerted us that she was scamming them, because I can tell you something. It's not easy when you are a victim, especially of these financial type frauds, because a lot of these individuals, they feel the shame that they fell prey to somebody like this, right? I tell you, it's that's why sometimes scammers get away for a really long time, because the victims don't come forward. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe I was that stupid. You're not stupid. You were just trusting that this woman, look at her. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? Seriously. No, you're just like, wow, you take someone at face value. If they tell you that they have a car to sell, you don't think that there is no car. Who does that? Oh my God. Anyway, here's somebody who apparently does that, honey child. She goes by various aliases, Vanessa Chinderma, and so on. She was finally arrested in May of last year, posted bail. More people came forward, but she claimed that she had a Honda Vessel model vehicle for sale on EK Trade. And so her and her husband responded. A local woman said her and her husband responded to the ad, arranging to view the vehicle there at Mockingbird Crescent. And Carnegie, as one of her many aliases, said that she was the owner of the vehicle and pressured the couple to pay the full $5,500, claiming that other buyers were interested. Now, let me pause the story right there, honey child. Okay? Don't ever let anyone, and I mean nobody at all, pressure you into buying anything. When you see people pressure like, oh, I'm going to have a buyer. No. I have 5 other people want it. No, listen. If it's going to get sold, it's going to get sold. Something else will come up for you. When someone is that anxious to sell something, you need to open your eyes. Something suspicious. Because if it's a good deal and it's a good vehicle, you rest assured it will sell itself. Do your due diligence. Have your mechanic friends look it over. Yes? Have a contract in place. Say, no, ma'am, we need a written contract. I'm not going to just transfer $5,500 to you for just so. No. All right? Because if you give her the deposit, and I want to, you guys need to understand how contract law works here. When you give a deposit, that's your consideration. And the deal is done subject to, if you say, I need my mechanic to look it over. If it's, do a little test drive, et cetera, have a contract in writing. Well, your banks should be telling you that you need that anyway for source of funds. Like, think about it. Where is she going with $5,500 cash? Because if she was depositing that into a bank account, the bank is going to be like, where's this money coming from? Show us the vehicular sale contract. So put things in writing. At a very minimum, your contract should have what it is that you're buying, especially with vehicles, the mileage, the year of the vehicle, the VIN number, and that, basically she's saying that she's the owner of this vehicle. Well, lo and behold, she wasn't the owner of nothing. So she showed up before Magistrate McFarland in summary court last week, where she ruled that the allegations were too serious to be dealt with in summary court. So she's expected to enter her pleas in grand court July the 10th. So that's coming up. So, when you go to grand court, honey child, things are serious. So allegations are that between June of 2024 and May of 2025, Carnegie Christie, aka Vanessa Scott, falsely represented that she operated a legitimate vehicle import and lease-to-own company known as Simplicity Leasing, convincing several people to hand over money for vehicles that allegedly did not exist. And there were a number of people that were actually hoodwinked by her. One lady paid $2,175 in August. Another guy paid $5,500 in May. Somebody else paid $1,375. Then we had another person paying $2,225. And there were other transactions, $500 and other amounts. So the final charge alleges that she forged, this woman she's a piece of work. Who forges a trade and business license? Huh? Who does that? In all of my years talking about these scammers, I gotta tell you, I have never actually heard of anyone forging the trade and business license because they're so easy to get. A $75 fee would get you one. So, she's special. Forged a trade and business license purportedly issued to a Kwame Christie trading as Simplicity Leasing, and presented it as an authentic government document between May of 2024 and May of 2025. Damn, she is serious. Who does this? I don't even know. But here's the great thing about it. I'm going to remind you guys that it's so easy for you to check to see if someone actually has a valid trade and business license. Did you know this? DCI does an amazing job at making their licenses available on their website. So come now, let's have a sip and learn moment. That means that while you're sipping on your coffee, I'm going to show you just how easy it is for you to know and to verify whether someone has a T&B. All right? Let's go to the website now. Hold on. Here we go. This is the Trade and Business, the DCI website. Just in case you need a reminder, it is dci.gov.ky. There we go. Super easy. I love how they're advertising their multi-year business licenses. I'm still waiting on mine to get approved, but I've submitted a business license for 3 years, so hopefully I'll be getting that here shortly. So let's close that out, right? And you've got a lot of different areas. All you have to do is find the reporting area. So I think it's under, well, here's a tab here, search reports. That might take you right to it. Yes, I think this is it. And I think it's also under licenses. Let me see. I think the trade and business licensing. And then you have reports. Yeah. So it kind of 2 ways to get to it. This one will actually give you the listing of the current ones, whereas that other page you can search by name. So depending on how you want to do it. So if I go here, this will tell me as of May 2026, you just click on this. This gives you the full list, folks, and you can increase the size because it is pretty small. This will give you the full list of all current business license holders. It is over 200 pages, probably 300 by now, because every Tom, Dick, and Harry has a business license and it came on 283 pages. And you can see all of the different registered companies, incorporated companies, and people who are trading as. So you see, take your time, because you could literally go on here and, just have a look. So anybody presents you with a business license or you have questions, you can simply look them up. All right here. Yep. Trading as, incorporated companies, everyone who has a business license to operate in the Cayman Islands. Okay. Lots of people have retail business licenses and so on. Anyway, she went the scammer route, folks, and decided to just fabricate her own business license. All right. So these are not her first allegations relating to vehicle-related fraud. She actually was reported under the name Vanessa Scott Carnegie. As I said, she uses several last names, so she changes her last name. Chinderma is one that she uses, and Bodden is another last name that she also uses. So be careful. And a lot of the scammers are using these classified sites. They're on Facebook classifieds as well. And they are using that to deceive people. So you really have got to keep an eye open in terms of, what it is that they're up to. You're the consumer. So buyer beware. Consumers beware. When someone is too anxious to sell you something, chances are there is a reason. Because think about it, if she had that many buyers, why would she be trying to stress you out? Right? I'm like, okay, if you got that many buyers, honey child, go sell it. Now, finding a good vehicle that's at a decent price, I know there's a market for it, right? And people are very, very anxious to get that vehicle, right? But don't be that anxious where you fall into this pit of deception. All right. Okay, so let me just see here. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh. Yes. All right. All right. Very good. Okay, good morning. Remind Shamari of July 2014 7-1 game between Germany and Brazil. Oh my gosh. Yes. The fangs are out with the football. I will certainly send that to Shamari. That would be quite the showdown. All right, so just be cautious, folks. Don't listen. $5,500, $2,000, whatever. That's a lot of money for people to be playing around with. Ms. Shannon says, Sandy, government also needs to stop Canadians from taking out businesses in order to help out their friends and families to get a work permit and to have a step into the island. A huge loophole. Meanwhile, the Canadians are not actively involved in these companies. I know people doing this right now. Well, here's the thing about it, Shannon. If the government doesn't know that this is happening, they can't just do a carte blanche policy where Caymanians, I mean, you're not supposed to be doing this because this is the equivalent of fronting and that's against the law. But how would they stop it? Right? If they don't know that it's happening and they don't have evidence that this particular person is doing it, there's no policy that they can put in place that would prevent Caymanians other than, it's against the law already, right? So the question becomes, how do they stop it? Caymanians need to stop destroying their own country. That's what they need to do. But some of them are so stupid and so greedy for just a couple dollars, because the sad part is when you think about the transaction, right? Okay, I don't know what they're paying you guys. So you get $1,000 a month, which is probably very liberal. Most people are not even doing that. They give them a little $500 one-time fee to do this sort of thing. The burden that you're putting on our country and the people that you're importing in and all that stuff, it's not even worth the $500, $1,000, or whatever it is that these people are paying you to front for them. You are literally destroying your country for a few dollars, and it don't make no sense. So there's only so much that government can do. And government, quite frankly, I feel like, they're trying to tell you guys how to behave. They're trying to, legislate morality. There is just only so much the government can do and no more. So I don't know. What else is there to do? Right? You all need to just start doing better, if you ask me. Not the government, the people. Like I said, who takes out a fake license? That is just absolutely ridiculous. And yet we have these scammers who are very, very invested in stealing from other people. It's just wrong at all levels. But let's hold each other accountable. You say you know a lot of people that are doing it, and I have no doubts that they are doing it. Have you reported them? Have you sent an email to the tip line at DCI, for example, to say, hey, I suspect, because of course DCI will have to carry out their own individual or independent, I should say, investigation. But you can say, I suspect this person is fronting, and here's why. They're not actively involved in the business. I've seen documentation that makes me wonder if they're fronting. Whatever evidence you have, send it through. There are anonymous tip lines all over the place that you can just email this information to. And so I would also encourage anyone who has that level of information to please provide it to the respective authorities so that they can do their job. Scam marriages, we're always keeping an eye on them. You suspect that someone is about to get scammed, there actually is a reporting email to DCI, not DCI, Immigration, WRC, that you can levy your complaints directly to as well. So that would be my recommendation. All right. Shamari wants to remind you guys that Brazil holds the record for the most men's FIFA Cup titles, having won the tournament 5 times. And he reminds you of who they have beat. Germany comes in second with 4 titles, tied with Italy, 4 titles, and then Argentina with 3 and France with 2. So it seems like Brazil and Germany are definitely the teams to beat. That would be quite a week, quite a showdown. Sorry, I was reading something else. That would be quite a showdown for those 2 teams to go up against each other. This person says, I had a coworker ask me to do that so she could take out a work permit for her expat boyfriend at the time. The answer was a hard no. You see? So easy to say no. Caymanians, please do better. Mr. George says freedoms include freedom to start a lawful business. Yes, I mean, and it's difficult for DCI to know whether a business is being lawful or not. When we were, talking about the immigration scammers in the Filipino community, they may have started out as lawful businesses, and I'm not even saying that there might not be some elements of those businesses that carry on lawful activity, but they also do a fair degree of scamming their own people, human trafficking, and so on. And that's a shame. Yes, they might have that bar in Cayman Brac, and it's a bar. But then it's how do they get their workers? How are they treating their workers? All of these things. If you want to be in business, folks, you have got to be compliant. There are rules for people to follow when you're in business, especially. Jerry says Germany all the way. German fan. Miss Brenda says, and they're the only team to win back-to-back World Cup titles. Oh, is that Brazil? Oh, wow. Huh. Okay. Interesting. All right. So the court system is alive and well, folks, every single day. The lists go out. Big shout out to the court's office. By the way, I got a story I'm going to drop on you guys today about the court's office. Not the court's office, but the judiciary. There's a whole story there. Oh my God. There's a whole story there about them being sued and having to pay a worker $100,000. Now they're appealing that decision. It's a mess. And it's so interesting. Wow. I told y'all to a certain extent, it was only a matter of time before I'm going to actually have to talk about what's been happening at the court office with certain personalities and certain individuals, right? Doing things, accusing people. Oh my God, this is a hot tamale story. I think it's going to drop later on today. And so, yeah, this is quite crazy. Anyway, it's unbelievable. We'll publish it. It is an active litigation, so they're going to court this week. I think it's in chambers. We're going to see if we can get there, but this one, it's a whole story and then some. It has a lot of tentacles, and civil servants should be mindful of their behavior. Let me say this, because you're not above the law. Everybody has somebody to answer to, in case we forget, okay? Let's just remember, everybody has somebody to answer to. So even civil servants, HR managers, supervisors, managers, whatever, you can't mistreat your staff because you have somebody to answer to as well. Those people can challenge your decisions against them. But most people operate on the basis, let me tell you how people operate in life. We see it here all the time. Most people operate on the basis that they're going to do X, Y, and Z, and the person that they have done it against is not going to do anything. How does the song go again? Miss Brenda, I see you. How does the song go? I think y'all know which one I'm talking about. Yep, that same one right there. So, honey child. Remember? What did they say? You see? They know who to frighten, my child. That's it, exactly. And they want to play with you. They want to trifle with you. And sometimes you just have to remind them, not today, Bobo. Not today, TD. When you slap them with that lawsuit, all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, I didn't know she was going to sue me. She didn't warn me. I'm like, are you sure you didn't get a warning on that Monday? Because I have the transcripts right here where I was telling you, you better stop. Or you and get a lawsuit up your behind and you still trifled with me. Now you want to play victim. Ay, 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 caramba. Live happy. Good morning, honey chill. Says scam fundraising needs to be stopped too. A lot being carried out by the Filipinos. Boy, nothing like that during the summer. Caymanians do it plenty too. Sending their children around to beg you. Oh, donate to this, donate to that. I'm just calling your name, Miss Brenda, because I see you there. Miss Brenda only wants to talk about football. She's like, I'm not business with nothing else. To all the Argentina fans of color, maybe you should read the history on them and their genocide of black/brown people to create a white race. Food for thought. Oh my goodness. So many countries are like that though, Miss Brenda. Brazil probably has had their history too. I don't know. But what a hot mess. All right, so you got 4 matches on today. Please enjoy the football. I know a lot of you are going out to the different bars and restaurants and stuff to watch it on big screen TVs. Honey, child, get your own big screen TV and watch it in the comfort of your home so you don't have to be around these people breathing down your neck. I know you guys love the public, you know, everybody's like cheering for their teams and you get to talk about it and whatever. So just be safe out there. Please, no drinking and driving for sure. Emergency landing on the way. So this is happening now. A private jet just took off from Owen Roberts Airport, International Airport, and flew overhead of me. And it has a stalled engine compressor, which I could hear easily. Emergency landing on the way. Oh, Lord. So, oh, that's not good. My goodness. Let us know what happens there. Hopefully they land safely. All right. Thank you. Please don't forget that today we're having the second sitting of the first meeting of the 2026-2027 session of Parliament. And that is going to be starting at 10 o'clock. So here in a little bit. I don't know that we have the agenda. Do we have the agenda? What's on the agenda today? Let me just see. Okay, so we have the following bills: the Status of Children Amendment Bill, Local Companies Control Amendment Bill, and the Financial Assistance Amendment Bill. Oh, good. That financial assistance one, we definitely need to hear a bit more about. So all of these bills are available on the Government and Parliament website. You can see the publication of the bills and reports and other documents in relation to them. And, you know, sometimes these are very, very important things that are happening in our country. So let me share the link in case you... in case you'd like to watch it. Ooh, Miss Brenda says, why don't you give away one of those big screen TVs? Get one of your sponsors to donate it. Ooh, that's a discussion for somebody like A.L. Thompson's. We don't have any sponsors like that, honey child. I wish we did. So we don't have A.L. Thompson's. Roll on through, honey child. We'd love it. I think that would be amazing. Cost you less, price right. And if you guys want to come on board, we'll work with you. Where's Mr. Alti? I can message him here this morning. Maybe they're going to do a little giveaway. But speaking of giveaways, let me just say this. This is fantastic because next week, hold on, let me just double check the date now. Yes, a week from today exactly is going to be our 9th anniversary here at CMR. We celebrate like a little birthday party. So we will be doing some giveaways on that day. So tune in. You might be a lucky winner. All right, beautiful. Thank you so much, guys. Have a fantastic day. I'm going to get to work. Got lots of things to do today, including some tutoring. Yes, Miss Brenda, I'm going to reach out to some of them because I think you're absolutely right. Maybe we can get a little gift certificate or a little prize from them. That would be so nice. We will message them. They're not current partners, but we can start a partnership. Folks, enjoy all the World Cup games today. Please be safe from scammers. We need to start doing a little sign that says, I'm safe from Vanessa the scammer. Because, boy, they're working hard to take your hard-earned money from you. There's that Barnes guy. What's his name again? He's still around scamming people. They just need to lock him up and throw away the key. Mm-hmm. All right, beautiful folks. Have a good day. And we will see you tomorrow morning for the Wednesday show. All right, be good.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.